Hey yo, what's good? Tony Teflon, House Teflon. We pull the strings. And this is a Game of Thrones Season 3, Episode 4 review called And Now His Watch Has Ended. Well, just watch this episode, and when you watch episodes like this, it makes you realize how great this show is, and how I love this episode. So I'm gonna try to get right into it and stuff like that. First, you got Jaime Lannister with Brienne, and he's still with the dudes, got him yoked up, and they basically just fucking with this kid, bitching him around, and basically it's just the shoes on the other foot, because you got to know Jaime was, one of the greatest, if not the greatest swordsman in the land and at any other time, these guys, he'd wipe the floor with these guys, all of them, every one of them by himself. It wouldn't even be a problem for him to defeat him. And these guys got this guy drinking piss and kicking him in the mud and things that they wouldn't dream about doing to this guy if he still had his hand. So he's got to eat all that, and just, it makes you feel sorry for this guy. But you got to remember who this guy is. This is still the guy who threw a little kid out the window. And that's why, George does a great job just letting you know, there aren't good guys and bad guys. It's not professional wrestling. They're just good people do bad things, bad people do good things. And that's the way it is, and that's the way it is with Jaime Lannister. So you see him doing all that and getting kicked around and beat up and everything else and smacked around, just basically embarrassed in front of Brienne. Brienne's feeling bad for him and stuff like that. And he's basically almost giving up the will to live and stuff like that. And she's telling him, you got to push on, There's a reason. You got to go through this. The going gets tough, you little pretty boy. And you've been rich and spoiled your whole life and everything else. And it gets a little rough for you and you want to give up and die and lay in the mud. And then she, encourages him and stuff like that. So that's what that seems like that's going. Next we talk about Arya. And Arya's there, and you finally get to meet Beric Dondarrion, the leader of this little the Brotherhood Without Banners. He's the leader of them. And they changed the guy who did it, who is a new actor who played it from the guy who Lord Eddard sent out. But or they could say he was reborn by the Lord of Light, whatever you want to say. But it's a new actor and stuff like that. And basically, it just sets up the big scene. It seems like he's gonna have to fight the Hound. His Hound was trying to get out of it a little bit. He was a little nervous, saying this, don't put that at my door. I accept this, I accept that, but I ain't do that one. And Arya's like, look, you rode this kid down, my boy. And you rode him down like a dog, and he was only 12. Threw his body over like it was a deer. And he admitted that one, so they had reason to put him on trial. So they granted him trial by combat, which is a little crazy to me because this is the Hound. The Hound. And I've seen a dude cut dudes in half vertically and horizontally. So to give this guy a sword, this dude better have some type of trick up his sleeve or something, because I don't know. He looks short and stubby. And fighting the Hound, he's a little crazy. There's other people to fight, and I don't know if the Hound's the one to be got like that, you know what I mean? But, so you learn about them, and they're about to fight and do that thing there. You see Sansa, she's out there with Marjorie, and then they see Marjorie's grandmother, she's out there, the Queen of Thorns, and she's manipulating people, doing a thing like, you gotta watch this chick, you know what I mean? She's like she's very smart, and she's like an old lady Varys, and she's sneaky, and she's crafty, and she knows what she's doing. But it seems like her and Sansa and Marjorie, they got a plan for Sansa to marry Loras and get her out of there and make her, go back to Highgarden, which I guess suits Sansa because she always liked him, thinks the dude looks good and stuff like that. So I'm sure she's with it to get up out of there. So that seems like an effective plan that could be worked out for her. But I don't trust that Varys. And you see a little bit, they finally told the story how Varys got cut and everything else. How he was an actor going around and dudes cut him up and ripped it off and sacrificed it to the fire god, his penis and everything else. And you see Varys is, you always see him like he's this little docile guy, but you see he got this dude locked up in the box, the guy who did it to him. And like on some Pulp Fiction type stuff. So you know what's gonna happen there. So Varys, you gotta watch out for him, and he's over here. He sees Littlefinger's plan, and how Littlefinger's growing too quick, and he don't like it. So he's trying to put the monkey wrench up in there on that. You know what I mean? Trying to ruin that for Littlefinger and stuff like that. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him, because Littlefinger's sneaky too, and if you get wind of what you're doing, you got to watch that dude too. So it's a very precocious situation there going down there in King's Landing. Joffrey, Marjorie playing it up, knowing exactly, playing politics. She's perfect, knows how to manipulate this dude, getting the dude to believe that the people actually love him, and making him see that how it feels good to be loved by the people, and trying to turn this dude around, but doing it slowly enough, just a little bit. It's milking him along. Here, they love you. A little bit here. Don't try to change him all the way at once. Still give in to his whims of dead people and everything else and being fascinated by that. But then giving him a little bit here to make him a little bit nicer and stuff like that. And she's doing a great job at that. And if she can get the coup going with her, and then with Sansa, because if Robb falls, then Sansa's she's the heir to Winterfell. And you get her with Loras, then you basically have the Tyrells locked, stock, and barrel. They got the North and they got the South locked up if they do that. So they're very smart, and they just about, and I think that's what they plan, and that's the way it seems like it's going. So then let's see who's next if they're and now his watch is ended. You got to go to the Night's Watch. Listen, these dudes, man. The bottom line is the Night's Watch used to be made up of lords, second lords. The second son, who wasn't going to inherit anything. You go to the Night's Watch, and you get honor and respect. And over the years, people stopped going there because they didn't like the fact they couldn't sleep with women and stuff like that, and living around a bunch of men. So Night's Watch taking on a bunch of criminals and thieves and turncloaks and all these. And this is what happens when you have shit. My father used to say, you can't shine shit. And when you have shit in your ranks, this is what happens. And these guys just don't, they're kind of like the young gangsters. You don't respect the old rules. And when you don't respect the old rules, that's when everything fucks up. That's when the feds get you. That's when you get bagged up. The rules are in place for a reason. And it may not suit you at the time, but you must respect them. And this is what it seems has happened here. And these dudes going to come out there, because they're hungry. And it's one thing killing, this disgusted man, but you're going to kill Mormont. Bear. Of Bear Island. Stab him in the back, and Mormont's still strong enough to grab dude up with one hand and hold him up, but the blood coming out of his mouth, he couldn't take it down. Sam, running for his life, had to grab this chick up with her son and bounce, because dude just got to skin his ass. So the Night Watch is in shambles right now. And it's just a hot mess over there. And this is not the time for this to go down. You got the White Walkers on, you got all this stuff, and now all of a sudden you want to just have a coup? Who's going to lead you now? What are you going to do? I don't know. A little crazy. To the best part, the shortest part, but the best part of the show, Daenerys Stormborn, blood of old Valyria, House Targaryen. Dany, when I read her in the books and everything, everyone knows I'm a standing supporter. I do not fear Dany. I never really thought Dany's a threat. Even though, obviously she is. It is. But you don't see it. And now when I actually seen it, now I'm worried about this chick for real. Because this chick goes up in there. She grabs these dudes up, hands the dragon over. The dude grabbing the dragon like all happy and stuff talking. And then she's like, listen, you don't think I speak your language? And blah, drops it right on him. I understood everything you said this whole time. And was like, yo, Unsullied, stab these dudes. Any man with a whip, stab him up. Anybody with this, any slaver, kill him. Kill every slaver. And she lays siege to that place. And that's a little dragon. Burnt that place to the ground like nothing. Boom. So what do you think? Especially when you see him walking out in the end, and these dudes is fighting for her, just for the love of her. They ain't no slaves, no nothing. Gave them their freedom and they rolling with her. And this is not like her brother was known as the beggar king, because when he just had to beg people to help him, and they always said he had claim to the throne but never had the power to actually take it. And so he had to go around begging people to stay here and begging this. This is not no begging queen. This chick has an army, a ill army, that's dedicated to her, that are all got nothing down there, so they ain't motivated by anything but just pride to do the job, and that's it. They have no reason for money, because basically money is just money just to get you chicks, so you can have a better life with them. And when you don't got that, so they ain't worried about that. All they worried about is serving this chick, and she's rolling with them. And that one dragon did that, a little dragon, and she got 3 jumps. And you see him flying out there at the end with this army, and she's marching off. And this chick is not the same chick from season 1, 2, not at all. This chick is ruthless, burning people down, killing people at the snap of a hat. Like what? And I see her peoples even looking at shock like, I didn't know you had it in you. But she's the Targaryen, and this is what Targaryens do. Overall, I thought it was a great episode. Best episode of the season by far. And it sets up an even better episode, the next one. Did I miss anything? I probably did. I'm trying to think. I'm sure those are the main points. I hit them all and stuff like that. I'm trying to think. Anything else that I missed? Because if I didn't, it's going to seem like an awful short video. Well, I guess this is going to have to be a short video then. Hey, yo. Thank you for anyone who watches my videos. Thank you for anyone who subscribes. Just like I said, and I said it a couple times, I don't really get a lot. I know people, like all my plays combined, people get that in like an hour. And I ain't one of those people, but I'm still doing this just to do this because I love talking about it. I love the books. I love the show. And I'm not like these dudes criticizing and everything's got to be perfectly just like the book. I like the way this is rolling. I'm with it 100%. And I'm just going to keep rolling. So if you want to see me say something or talk about a house or give background, just let me know. And if you want to make me a sigil for the house Teflon, let me know. Make that up. And I'll throw it on my background. You know what I'm saying? Pulling the strings like the Godfather with the world. We pull the strings. House Teflon, baby. And that's it. That's how we do. So again, subscribe. Hit me up. You know what I mean? Write comments. I'll answer all the comments back. And I'm going to see you next week. Remember, this is Tony Teflon, the Don. House Teflon. We pull the strings. Peace.